Monster, an Attack on Titan X Mute Reader fanfic by Mokamaki. Chapter 6. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, leaving a like on the video, and a comment down below telling me what you thought or what you'd like to see. But without further ado, let's begin. Later that evening, dinner time came, and I watched the rest of the cadets talk amongst themselves. I envied their conversations and laughter. I wish I could be like that again, but the only sounds I make are small and faint noises. I wasn't completely mute. There were little feints, hums, and sounds I could make, but when I tried to talk, nothing would come out. Hey, are you okay? You barely touched your food, Mikasa asked. I turned to her and just nodded. I guess I was too lost in my thoughts. I picked up the bread from my tray and nibbled it slowly. Hey, you're right? I looked next to me to see a girl with brown hair tied into a ponytail and brown eyes. I nodded, feeling a little confused on how she knew my name. We saw the way you fought back at the trading grounds. It was amazing. We? I looked to see a boy with a shaved head and yellowish eyes. Yeah, you were totally awesome. Where did you learn those moves? They both leaned in close to hear, and I began to panic. How could I answer? Did they know I can't? Hey, give her some space, guys. I heard a sweet voice say. The three of us looked behind to see a boy with black hair, tan skin, and cute freckles. Wait, cute? I felt myself blush a little bit. You're making her uncomfortable. He looked towards me. Are you okay? I'm sure they didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. His eyes looked at mine, expecting an answer. My eyes darted around the room, which found Armin's eyes staring worriedly at me. I pleaded for help through my eyes, and Armin immediately got the message. I'm sorry, she's sort of mute. She's not trying to be rude. Armin immediately spoke. I felt the atmosphere turn tense once they reacted to the news. Oh, we're so sorry, we didn't know. The girl with brown hair quickly apologized. Yeah, what she said, the shaved head boy replied. We hope we didn't hurt your feelings in any way. The boy with cute freckles stared at me with deep concern. The girl eating the bread said. The name's Connie, the boy with the shaved head added. My name's Marco. I guess you're new around here, right? I nodded while slowly standing up and making my way towards him. I placed my hands on his cheek. Warm, I thought. Marco's cheek seemed to heat up more as he began to get flustered. Armin began to stammer as well. Don't do that, it's rude. Armin scolded me a little. It's fine. Marco tried to be calm. I stared at Marco for a few moments before removing my hands. I turned to Sasha and Connie and I noticed some crumbs on Sasha's cheek. I leaned forward and brushed the crumbs lightly away from her face. She flinched, but it wasn't from my touch. Your nails are sharp. It scratched me a little. I took a look at my claw-like fingernails. They have grown a bit over the years, but I didn't know how to cut them. Here, keep eating your dinner. Armin guided me back to my seat and I continued to nibble on the bread. Mikasa noticed me eating and began to pet my head. She always did this for me. Has she always been like this? I heard Marco ask behind me. For as long as I can remember, yeah, that was how she met me, actually. Ever since that day, Eren, Mikasa, and I have been friends with her. The more time we spent with her, the more I grew concerned over her behavior. Behavior? Sasha asked, still chewing her bread. She doesn't really act like her age, more like a toddler discovering the world for the first time. It makes me worried that she might have been involved in an accident that affected her head, and possibly her eye too. He muttered the last part. With the bread still in my mouth, I leaned into Mikasa's strokes and planted my head on her shoulder. She didn't seem surprised because I always did this, but this time was different. As she continued to stroke my head, I began to tickle at her sides, making her squirm. Stop, she says quietly, but I continued. I'd never seen Mikasa laugh before, but when we were young, I would do this to Eren and Armin to make them laugh, but Mikasa never laughed around me. I continued to pick at her sides and she tried to push me away. I could see her cracking a tiny smile. Stop, that's not funny. But as I continued, at this point she was pushing me as gently but as far as possible. She was on the verge of laughing, but it seemed like our little battle gained some attention and took the scene as something other than a playful fight. Without knowing, I felt someone grab my hair and yank me off Mikasa, causing me to fall on the floor harshly, almost catching her off guard. She told you to stop. What are you trying to do, harasser? Keep your hands off. I rubbed my head and looked up to see a boy with two-toned hair glaring down at me. What was his problem? Hey! Mikasa called my name and immediately went to my side. Armin didn't move, but he was staring at me with a complete worried look. He didn't know if he should get involved or not. But the boy wasn't done yet. He ended up grabbing me by the collar, yanking me once more. What the hell? Aaron grabbed the boy by the collar and yanked him off me, making him fall back onto the floor. Mika saw holding my arm steady. Leave her alone. She didn't do anything wrong. I don't know if you're cranky because you haven't had your hay yet, Horseface, but don't you dare touch her again like that. Horseface. She was harassing your friend. What was I supposed to do? If anyone's harassing, it's you. Keep your hands off of her. Aaron pushed her back. Hey, are you okay? Armin asked from behind. I just stared blankly at the boy. Aaron called him Horseface. Does that mean he looks like a horse? I slowly stood up and made my way towards the two. They both stopped talking and watched my movements in confusion. I walked up to the boy and placed my hands on his cheeks, analyzing his face. I saw his cheeks turn bright red as I looked at his features. He didn't really look like a horse. Hey, Aaron said in disbelief. I looked towards Aaron and was about to walk towards him until I felt someone grab my hand. I looked behind me to see the boy looking down. His face blushed madly. Now I was confused. Aaron didn't seem to like that he pulled me away. I told you not to touch her! Get your hands off of me, you suicidal maniac! Mikasa sighed as she pulled me gently away from the scene and led me out of the mess hall. I hope you guys enjoyed Chapter 6 of Monster, an Attack on Titan X-Mute Reader. If you enjoyed the video and are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, leaving a like or a comment down below. What would you like to see? And also, who is your favorite Attack on Titan character? I'm gonna go ahead and guess most of you are probably gonna say Levi. Anyways, my name is Bazaar, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cue the outro.